Is this the one?
That's just yellow.
Yeah. Hey, everybody, I'm Bob, and I'm an alcoholic. Okay. I guess we ought to open this little meeting with the Serenity Prayer for those that care to join.
Now let's get God involved.
That's right. That's right. Let's invite him on in. So if you would have a moment or two of silence for those people that couldn't be with us today, followed by the Serenity Prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Amen. Well, good. I'd like to personally thank everybody that worked so hard to get this thing off the ground. This is the second one. Yeah, give them a hand. We were just sitting over there talking about wondering if this is going to be the last annual picnic or what. And I said, well, it's the second one I've been at. And I've been here since '97. And both times they were lots of fun. Lots of people came. Maybe we'll think about this for next year, too. Let's hope. Well, I have the distinct honor of introducing our first speaker. And when I was asked to do it, so somebody said, well, say something nice. And I said, hell, I don't know anything nice about him. But I've known Tim for several years now. I guess I met him back about 97, 98, somewhere along in there. And he was coming back into the center. And he and I have had a lot of fun playing with AA history. We both like AA history and digging around and nitpicking stuff. You know, I don't know if we got anybody else in the crowd who's a nitpicker, but boy, I am. I like to dig and disagree and all that kind of stuff. And he and I have a lot of fun with that. But one of the things I've noticed with Tim is when he got into recovery, his consistency. He doesn't change. I'm not to say he's boring. It's just that he is consistently in recovery. Call him and ask him to do something, you can count on him. He'll be there. 12-step work, he'll be there. Talk at a meeting like this, we know he's going to be here. We got him cornered. So I'm going to shut up and get him up here. Come on up here, Tim.
Lord, buddy, my name's Tim and I'm an alcoholic. Amen. I was not going to be here. Had no intentions of coming here. Had no intentions of ever doing this. You see, because just about a week past 6 years ago, the only thing I really want to do is die. I had just lost my wife of 11 years in an alcohol-related car accident. And I spent the next 3 weeks trying to drink myself to death. This was after enjoying nearly 9.5 years of being clean and sober. I don't want to do a long drunk-a-log. I believe everybody here knows how to get drunk. I'd much rather talk about what my life is like today, but I'll tell you this, I took my first drink of whiskey when I was around 8 years old, and I spent the next 34 years in a horrible battle with addiction to alcohol. Like I said, I didn't intend on being here. Since I've gotten sober, my life has I've been blessed. I don't want to say anything today without appreciating the people that were here before me, and I'm talking about them blessed old timers, because they carved a path that I'm so privileged to walk on today. If it hadn't been for them, there wouldn't be a me. And if there hadn't been for a God in my life today, I wouldn't have one. My addiction to alcohol and other substances, like I said, cost me everything I ever had more than once. The only thing I ever really managed to do, and I just barely managed to do that, was graduate high school. My addiction cost me a nice military career. It cost me 2 marriages. It caused me to spend time in some real nice places like Tennessee Department of Corrections. I did 2 tours through there. I didn't learn enough the first time. My addiction took me to places that I never wanted to go. But recovery has taken me to places I never thought I'd get to. I never thought that I could be happy, joyous, and free. I never did. I knew at the age of 8 when I took my first drink that my life was screwed up and somebody was to blame. And I spent the next 34 years of my life looking for that person. I used to believe wholeheartedly that the whole world lined up to stab me in the back. I thought everybody enjoyed kicking me when I was down, thinking everybody stuck a knife in my back. And when I got sober and looked in the mirror, I finally discovered that every single one of those wounds was self-inflicted. I got sober for the first time in prison in 1987. Stayed sober for a little over 9.5 years. Met a real beautiful, kind, and loving, and generous, caring lady. And her alcoholism took me away from her. When I first got sober, I wanted to blame God for all of that. I wanted to hate something or somebody. And I finally come to the conclusion that she lost her life because she made the decision to get behind the wheel of a car after drinking too much alcohol. God didn't have anything to do with that. God had a whole lot to do with me taking my last drink, and I'll never forget it. It was on June 6th of the year 2000, and I remember exactly what time it was. Because when I turned the bottle up, I was looking at a clock right in front of me. There were 3 angels, and the reason I call them angels is because God sent them to my house that day. I was 42 years old, and after 42 years of being on this earth, I had absolutely nothing. Nothing. I was done. I reached the point that the book talks about where alcohol beat me into a state of reasonableness. I was at the end. I didn't know it. But these 3 angels God sent to my house, they walked in, and I don't mind telling you, see, I like to get honest. That's what I'm supposed to do. I was laying on a piss, puke, shit, and blood-soaked couch, and my best friend was a big round plastic Tupperware bowl full of my own vomit. All I had done for approximately a week was drink whiskey. I wasn't even eating any food. I had a pistol laying beside me on the couch, and I did the Mel Gibson thing, you know, like he did in Lethal Weapon. I look at the bullet, put it in the gun, and then put it in my mouth, and then try to drink up enough courage to pull the trigger out. But I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it, and I believe that was God. The man that came to my house that day along with his 2 companions, he asked me a very, very simple question. And it's the same question I ask people when I go try to help them, because I'll never forget the question he asked me. He kneeled down on my floor and asked me, he said, "Tim, what do you want to do? Do you want to continue the drunk, or do you want to get some help?" And I knew that if I had said I wanted to continue the drunk, he would have got up and left me. And I didn't want him to do that. I didn't want him to do that. I had known the blessings of recovery before, and I wanted that again, but I didn't believe it to be possible for me. I got up and went with him that day, and I met another man by the name of Cody Harris, and I will never, ever forget what he did for me. I was in DTs in the emergency room out at the hospital, and that man had never seen me before. We didn't know each other from Adam's house cat. I was screaming at the top of my lungs. I didn't know where I was at. I didn't know what I was doing. And he held my hand for nearly an hour. And the only thing he had to say to me, he said, "It's going to be all right. It's going to be all right." I'll never forget that. Today, I don't forget the kindnesses that people do for me. Since the day of my last drink, fallen in love with this book and what it can teach me. I heard an old man say one time, and he's one of those old timers. We referred to him as Mr. Hawkins. And he told me one day, he said, son, that book will talk to you if you'll let it. I'll never forget that either, because it does. It does. I read the part on the bottom of page 43 that says, there's going to come a time in my life when I'll have absolutely no mental effect against that, no mental defense against that first string. That time came for me, and I know it will come for me again. That's why I had to develop a strong relationship with a power greater than myself that I choose to call God. That time is coming when I will have, once again, no effective mental defense against that first string. The book tells me that that defense must come. Must come. And I don't know where y'all went to school at, but must means have to. It says that this defense must come from a power greater than myself. Without God, I'm nothing. Without you people, I'm nothing either. The greatest gift that God has given me since that day in June in the year 2000, the greatest gift I've received is you. I can't do it without you. God has put some real good people in my life. I got a sponsor today that's more than just a sounding board. He's critical when he needs to be. He cuts up a lot, but he's serious about recovery, and I need somebody like that in my life. Because all my life I played. I played a game with it. And I needed a sponsor that didn't play. And I got one. I love you, Danny. That same old man told him a whole lot of years ago he was a good man. And he told me not too long ago, he told me that I was a good man too. And I've never been a good man before. I did a lot of damage to my family. I thank God I still have my mother. I lost my father on Christmas Day almost 2 years ago. It'll be 2 years ago this coming Christmas. I was able to develop a sober relationship with him, something that I had never really had before. And we got closer, just like a father and son should be, and I'll always be grateful for that. He got to live long enough to see me get sober. God has put people in my life that every day I'm blessed and privileged to be able to be around the people I love the most. And I'm talking about you guys I get to see every day, and I get to share in your blessings, and I'm honored by that. I get to share in your recovery, and I'm honored by that. Again, the greatest gift I've ever received is you. I drank to get drunk. I heard somebody say one time they drank because they liked it to taste. That's bullshit. I never took a drink of whiskey yet that I liked. Love the effect. Love the effect. And then when it reached a point that I couldn't stop, it destroyed everything but me. Alcohol took everything in my life but me. When I arrived at that center, my friend Rick calls it that building down the street. I'm going to call it what it is. It's a Tony Rice Center. It's a recovery center. It's a treatment center for men who have problems with alcohol and drugs. When I first walked through those doors, I was 42 years old, and I had 2 Walmart bags full of clothes that Goodwill were probably throwing in a damn dumpster, and that's all I had. I didn't have anything else. But God was looking out for me just like he's done all my life. You know, it's been long said that God looks after fools, drunks, and little children, and I have been all 3 of those things. If I don't invite God in my life every day, I'm in real danger of turning into a foolish drunk and a child again, and I can do that with the first drink. I discovered that it was not the 10th drink or the 5th joint or the 20th pill that caused my problems. It was the first damn swallow. Because after that one, I'm powerless to stop. That's not to say that I still don't think about alcohol once in a while. That book tells me right there that that's just my nature. That's the nature of the beast. That's something I'm going to think about. But I've also learned that when I have those thoughts, I have to talk to God, and I have to talk to some other people in recovery. I had to keep myself around recovering people. The book also tells me that as long as I'm willing to take certain steps and maintain a certain spiritual attitude, I can go any damn where in the world I want to go. And I do. I'm a NASCAR freak. My driver just retired last year. And I've even asked God to help me pick a new one. They ain't going to be Tony Stewart or Jeff Gordon. But anyway, I found out that as long as I keep God in my recovery at the top of my priority list, everything else works itself out. As long as I keep the hell out of the way. I'm real good at getting in my own damn way. And I'm just as good at that today as I was 6 years ago. My sponsor tells me all the time, he says, Tim, it ain't about liking shit. You don't have to like stuff. And damn, I thought all my life that I did. I also thought all my life that everybody was supposed to like me too, and I've discovered, by God, they don't. Somebody told me one time, there's 6.8 billion people on this damn planet. All of them ain't going to like you. I said, well. And that's okay today. But I used to be the kind of guy that could walk into a room full of 100 people, and if 99 of them walked up and shook my hand and told me that they liked me and loved me and all that kind of stuff, and one didn't, I'd lose a month's worth of damn sleep worrying about why. I don't have to do that today. That's not to say that I haven't made a world of friends, and I have. I have. The real kinds of friends. Not the ones that'll blow smoke up my ass and talk good to my face and then try to ruin me behind my back. Not those kind of friends. I've had enough of those. But I got some friends today that if I pick up the phone at 2 o'clock in the morning and I'm having trouble and I'm pacing the floor and I can't sleep, I can pick up the phone and call Billy and he'll say, "What?" But I love the kind of people that are in my life today. And I'll tell you something else. It's not been easy. It's been very, very simple. I used to try to make rocket science out of those 12 steps. And I discovered very simply by reading and studying the book and maintaining a relationship with God and working these steps and being involved in the Fellowship of Alcoholics Anonymous, I found out that it's about as simple as making a peanut butter sandwich. Now, if you can do that, you can stay sober too. It ain't complicated unless I do the complicated. I used to worry about what I'm going to do next. Now I look forward to it. I used to worry about what was going to happen tomorrow. And now I'm excited because if God allows me to wake up and take another breath in the morning, He's got some good stuff in store for me tomorrow too. I just got to stick around, stay out of the way, and enjoy it. And that's the way it is today. No, every day for me is not peaches and cream. It's not. Like I said, in recovery, I've lost my father. I've been diagnosed with and operated on for cancer. I've had my gallbladder removed. I work at a very stressful job. And I have not had to take a drink over any of that shit yet. And I believe as long as I continue to stay out of the way and ask God and you people for help, I won't have to. When it reaches that point to where I get ready to go out on my own and use my thinking, now my thinking is still pretty much fucked up. If I depend on it, I'm screwed. Hell, my thinking's what got me here. The best plans I ever made bought me a seat in AA. The best schemes, the best conniving, and the best manipulating I could ever do bought me a seat in one of them chairs. My thinking. I learned that through reading and studying the book that my thinking, that's paramount, that I change my thinking. And I'm going to talk about a couple of things here, and if it bothers you, you're just going to have to be bothered. But I heard some people once say, you can act your way into better thinking, and I don't buy that shit. The book says our thinking has to change first. If our thinking doesn't change, then our actions never will. Thinking one way and acting another is just another form of lying. And speaking of lying, I hear a knucklehead every once in a while say, fake it till you make it. I ain't buying that load of crap either. When you say to a newcomer, fake it till you make it, you're continuing to give him permission to lie. And this program is about honesty. I promise you, if you grant me unlimited permission to lie, hell, I'll walk all over the top of you. I always have. The book don't mention rigorous honesty 3 times in the first paragraph, how it works just for nothing. They didn't do that to take up space in the book. Rigorous honesty. And no, I'm not perfect at it. I'm not. And never will be. You see, I found out early on that I'm never going to be perfect. And used to, I thought I had to be. And I'm not. People that know me will tell you that, no, Tim is long damn way from perfection. And I'm okay with that today. I'm okay with not being perfect. Today I'm okay with being okay. That suits me. That suits me. I live a very, very, very simple life. Again, as long as I stay out of the way. I never thought, and y'all have to excuse me because sometimes I still cry. I never thought that God would trust me with the loving heart of another woman. But God surprised me. And He put someone in my life that I need, and I love, and I feel loved in return. And she's more than just a wife, she's a companion. She's my best friend. She's almost like a security blanket that I can wrap around me and feel comfortable. And I never thought that would ever be possible again, and I owe that to God and His program and you people. That's the only reason why that's possible today. Hell, I've got 2 dogs, 2 snakes, a guinea pig, and 3 birds. Now, all of those creatures don't like me, but that's okay too. That's okay too. I've got a little dog that just crawls up on my shoulder and goes to sleep while we're watching TV. That's just cool. That's just cool. You see, animals didn't want to have anything to do with me either. But this little dog will crawl up on my shoulder and love me unconditionally, and sometimes I cry when that happens. God has been good to me. Been real good to me. How much time do I got? How long can I talk, Daniel? I was told once that you need to call your sponsor before you do anything in the morning. Now, I'm not going to start doing this because he gets up earlier than I do. But I was once, somebody asked me once, said, what do you do first thing in the morning when you get up? I said, well, what most normal people do, I go to the bathroom and brush my teeth. And he said, call your sponsor before you do all that. I said, well, why? He said, hell, you might not have to go. He was talking about my thinking. He was talking about my thinking. One of my hobbies is studying politics. I kind of love the controversy. Seems like, don't we do that? Don't we just love getting ourselves involved in controversy? You know, just a little bit. Anybody else do that? I didn't think so. Gas prices have been on everybody's mind lately because it's costing us a fortune to get back and forth to work and do the other things that we enjoy doing. I was in a hurry getting here because I tend to do things at the last minute. I'm the world's best procrastinator. By God, if I can put it off till tomorrow, it'll be done that way. But I ran into the gas station that I've got an alcoholic truck that's got a drinking habit I can't afford. But I ran into the gas station and all I had was $5 cash, and I threw the $5 bill up on the counter and told the girl, I'm running late, I need $5 worth of gas. She laughed at me, hiked her skirt, broke wind, and wrote me a receipt. I love laughing today. I love seeing smiles on other people's faces. I love seeing the smiles. I ain't gonna leave here without saying this. We got some young men over at this center that are making changes in their lives and they're turning their lives around. Now, it ain't that I don't like old farts like me, because I do. I like Bob. Both Bobs. But I get to see some young men turn their lives around. I get to see people become good sons and good fathers and good husbands and good brothers and good citizens. Love that. Love that. And it's only possible through God and His fellowship and His program. It's my sincere hope and prayer today, and I said this prayer before I came here. It's my sincere hope and prayer today that God will love you and take care of you as He has done me, and that God will bless you as He has done me. And the bonus to that is I know we can and I know we will. All you got to do is get out of the way. I'm going to read something, if I can find it. Well, it's here. That ain't it. This ain't it. Hang on, just be patient. See if y'all can do something with me. Feel free to join in. I want everybody to place your hand over your chest right in, where you can feel your heartbeat. That is actually your life's clock ticking, counting down the moments that you have left. One day it will stop. That is 100% guaranteed, and there's nothing you can do about it. So you can't afford to throw away a single precious second. Go after your dreams with energy and passion, or you may as well stand back and watch them wash down the drain. Thank you, I love you, and God bless.